camera, get this feeling. Maybe I can just adjust this camera a little bit more. And then I can camera back a little bit more. Now, if you want to focus here, like focus your like depth of field where its focus should be. Again, I will go here and lock this because I'm done with this placement. So you have to select the camera, go into lit mode, and then select the camera, this manual if you want, and then click this draw debug plane, and then decrease this value. Then you will see a pink line here. This is the exact focal point, or you can just keep it on track. I like tracking when there is little movement in the scene or absolutely like near to no movement. You have to just click here, select this, and then I will click this object, plastic actor. So you have that. So this is how to focus the tracking of your camera, and then you can go ahead and switch this. So now the focus will be placed here. Let's see if anything else needs to be taken care in this camera. No, absolutely okay. So we'll go here and then click in path tracing again. This looks good to me. And now I will click save all. So after saving, we are almost ready for the final render. Before final render, we'll go ahead and switch off this path tracing to unlit so that there is no other resources are there taking lots of amount of RAM on graphic card. So making it unlit is going to release some resource from the graphic card. And then we'll go here in movie render queue, we'll click this, and now we'll go here and click anti-aliasing on, and then it's 32 into 32, and you remember this post process volume, we have switched on the denoiser on. I have experimented this a lot by switching on and off, but switching off denoiser and rendering it on sample on like 64 into 64, this value on like 4096, like when we make this value to 64 into 64, like 64 into 64, then it's like 4096. Rendering on 4096 with denoiser off, I don't think it's justified. It will need another application to remove the noises, then it will need another plugin to be purchased for that to be, and at the end you will get the same result of after spending those extra time and then money on the plugin and the software. And instead just switch this denoiser on and get the cleanest image possible from here when you have your anti-aliasing value decent amount of 32 and 32. So I like this, but when you have to render a cinematic video, then I don't render a cinematic video from path tracing, though I have rendered it in forest forest scene, which I will be explaining all the different settings, how I was able to render without any flicker and then high quality path tracing. It is very time consuming, very difficult, but it took me around for 10 seconds, it took around 10 hours to render that cinematic image, and I will explain it how in that. So now let's go ahead. Since we are almost ready for the rendering of final image, you can go ahead and click accept, and then here we'll go ahead and click render. In the meantime, it's rendering, you can go here on my website 3darkstuff.com, and you can get UV5 demos which you can play on your own PC. UV4 demos, lots of UV4 demos here which you can go ahead and explore and show to the clients, get some project for you, and then you can work. So you don't have to make all these images and exes or the projects for in exes. You can just download from here and then show them to the client and explain the technology, what is it, what it's all about, and how the result can look like, something like that. Or suit yourself if you want. You have some UV4 tutorials, but they are now old, so they are not too much of relevant with Unreal 5. But yes, the Unreal version in which this tutorial have been made, those versions can be used, and these tutorials are till now worth like learning to do architecture visualization in those versions. And still, the when you use the older version of the Unreal Engine in which this tutorial was made for, you will still be able to do architectural visualization in Unreal Engine in VR and in real time. So they are old, but they are not useless. Okay, you can use them. You can, but yes, I'm going to make lots and lots of tutorial on Unreal 5, like Unreal Engine 5. For amazing tutorial, I have list of endless tutorials to be made, and I'm going to make. You can go ahead on my Patreon page and then you can subscribe there. So on my Patreon page, you will be getting lots of stops, like lots of few parts of the tutorial may or may not be on YouTube. Like if it's a 8-part tutorial series, then 4 parts will be on YouTube, and then remaining 4 part will be on Patreon, or maybe the entire 8 part will be on YouTube. But the resource file and the Unreal project file and then some textures or anything that are needed to follow them will be on the Patreon page. Okay, so will be on the Patreon page, so you can subscribe Patreon and you will be getting lots of Unreal projects and resources for the tutorial, resource file of the tutorial. Some parts of the tutorial will be on Patreon, so you can subscribe here. Subscribe my YouTube channel if you find this knowledge informative. You can have masterclass where I will be teaching one-on-one to you the entire process of Unreal Engine for ArcViz in Unreal Engine 5, 4, Lumen, path tracing, Epic GPU Lightmask, CPU GPU Lightmask, Losang GPU Lightmask, anything you like, you want to learn one-to-one personally, then you can join for a master class and then you can get it now. There is also lots of high quality detailed model for ArcViz which you can purchase from my website and directly use it in your projects or your ArcViz project. And these models are absolutely high quality with absolute no wasted of polygons are there. So you like when you go here, they have like centimeter is like units is in centimeter, collision they have the collision, they have proper set LODs. 5 LODs are there, they are properly unwrapped for second channel. You can use in dynamic scene, you can use in bake scene, whatever you want. They have UV channel 2, and then there's just 7448 on LOD5. So when you go away from that object in your VR scene, they will be highly optimized, and they have been properly taken care that they stay as high quality as possible but as optimized as possible. The modeler has done his efforts and model them as low quality models, and then we have applied LODs on them to make them perfect. So you can download this or purchase these models and then use in your architectural projects. There are hundreds of objects present here which you can download and use in your Unreal project. and they will look phenomenal in your projects. Okay, so you can also purchase complete Unreal Engine projects if you want to explore and then reverse engineering, maybe use some models in your other projects, maybe use some lighting techniques from these scenes, or then some materials, or see how you have done the materials. So the possibilities are endless. If you purchase these funnel projects, you can learn a lot, you can use things, you can study. Like, it's incredible. It's up to you which one you want to explore or learn for learning and all those things. Is the same for U5. You have U5 projects to which you can purchase and learn and use the models and then materials and then lighting techniques you can study. Here these testimony classes, like everyone that has taken UV4 master class from me till now have, like, most of them have given their experience testimony, and then here you can go ahead and learn, like, how their experience was and where from them, and they have the, you have the email ID of them, you can contact them, you can hire them for work, you can ask them if you want to have a session with me in masterclass to be sure that how their experience was, though they have written here their experience, but this is exact word they have written. I have just copied and pasted without altering anything. So these are their raw experience when having classes from me, the master classes. Okay, so let's see our rendering is done or not. So here our rendering is done, and now let's go ahead and cross check our rendering, how it looks. So if I go here, open this, now I can see here absolute, the rendering is absolutely the way we wanted. Materials are like perfect. The lighting, this lighting effect is only we are getting with those light setup, point light setup, the way we have done, and the gradient texture applied on this material. So this is the combination, and the overall feel of this light is coming from the point light. Overall feel of this light is coming from this emissive bulb, and then this plastic metal is simple, metallic material is simple. The highlight of this is the path tracing in Unreal Engine and the way the scene has been set up for rendering and getting this quality. So I hope you all will enjoy and find information and knowledge for doing this exact thing in Unreal Engine in path tracing, and getting this type of lighting, like this type of effect in lighting in Unreal Engine is difficult and very difficult in Lumen still now, for sure. And then in baked is also, it's a little bit difficult, but when you use path tracing, then the result is like the way you want. That is why I used path tracing, because this is still is difficult to achieve in Lumen. And then ray tracing you can achieve it. Lumen you can, it's difficult, little bit difficult, maybe I don't know how to do it, but I tried and I found it difficult. I was not able to get it done. Okay, and then in baking also it's a little bit, but in path tracing it's absolute rejoice to work in path tracing. And whenever you have to render a single static image, please use path tracing in Unreal Engine. Never use any other rendering technique. If you have to render a still image in Unreal Engine, path tracing will hands down give you the best result. And I love the way path tracing behaves and acts in Unreal Engine. It's phenomenal for rendering cinematic images. Cinematic videos, I have tested it, I am exploring it, and I have been able to achieve my, like, a desired effect here in Lumen and path tracing both. I was able to achieve it, but for an architectural project, it's still a little bit of challenge. But I will try my best to help you all. If you go here, you can see same image has been rendered. These are cinematic video. I like path tracing more because the quality in path tracing is much better than the uh, Lumen, but Lumen supports God rays, but this path tracing does not support God rays in Unreal Engine still. Maybe it will support in future. And Lumen supports volumetric fog, and the path tracing does not support volumetric fog. So I have cheated the fog effect with the help of post-process material from a YouTube channel named Boundless Entertainment. He made a tutorial on how to make fog for path tracing. I used that technique to give fog in this scene, but by default, fog or natural fog is not supported in path tracing yet, but it's going to be supported soon. Lumen God rays are supported, volumetric or fog or exponential height fog is supported. But the quality and the overall GI bonds I like better in path tracing than Lumen. So it's up to you. But the thing is, both have been rendered in cinematic video and without any issue. That is a point to be noted for exploring path tracing for rendering cinematic video in future. So I hope you all found information and knowledge in this, and looking forward for making the like other tutorials soon. I will be making several tutorials for my YouTube channel if possible, and if I found some project like found some time from doing projects. So whenever I will be free, I will be making tutorials for you all to explore and learn Unreal Engine the way you like and to get photos result. In the meantime, stay tuned, subscribe my channel if you like it, and hit the thumb button for encouraging me. And then I will see you all next tutorial. Till then,